What's up guys, welcome to Echo Productions. I'm Silas Willoughby and the DJI Mavic Air came out a few weeks ago. And I got mine a little while back, so now after flying it in all types of situations from rain and cold to hot and sunny to extremely windy, I finally feel like I can make a 100% conclusive review. So let's get into it.
Well, I have a wonderful electronic invention I want you to see.
It looks something like this.
First and foremost is the obvious thing about this drone, which is its size. This thing is incredibly small. It zips up into this hardshell bag that DJI sends out with it. Now I can fit it into my camera bag with all the rest of my gear instead of having to haul around an entire other bag just to carry my drone. Which, to be honest, just kept me from bringing my drone more than half the time. To be ready to fly, all you have to do is take the drone out of the case, fold out its legs and landing gears, and you're ready. The controller as well is much smaller than ever before. You can now unscrew the joysticks and simply click them into the controller under where the smartphone holder folds back in. This allows you to fit the controller in a ton more spaces than you ever could before. Another big thing is the range on the Mavic Air. DJI claims 10 kilometers or 6 miles. Now, I found this is to be for the perfect situation, over water with no wind. For me, it seems to be closer to about 2.5 miles, which is still pretty great. In terms of flyability, this drone is super easy and intuitive to fly. Now, I have had my fair share of other drones before this one, but I think even if you'd never flown before, you'd be flying this guy in a heartbeat. This is made even easier with DJI adding even more vision sensors, so the Mavic Air is almost impossible to crash. You can also switch to sport mode on the controller now, which increases your top speed to almost 45 miles per hour, which I love because something that I used to annoy me like crazy on my GoPro Karma and even my Phantom was that I had to speed up a lot of my shots since the wide field of view and flying relatively high makes everything look very slow. This is no longer a problem when using sport mode on the Mavic Air. Now moving on to the camera. The lens is a 24mm full frame equivalent and the camera can shoot in 4K at 24 FPS at up to 100 megabytes a second. This was a big thing in getting me to buy this drone. The 100 megabytes a second in 4K was really a deal breaker for me. You can now also record 120 FPS in full HD 1080p, compared to only being able to do that in 720p on the Mavic Pro. You can shoot videos in either MOV or MP4 and JPEG or RAW for photos. In video, you have an ISO range of 100 to 3200. Now, despite it going up to 3200, I will almost never go above 1600 with this camera, since above that it's just too noisy to use. The sensor is still small, about the size of the one in your smartphone camera, and I've heard people complain about the dynamic range being bad, but I haven't really noticed this. It seems pretty decent to me. Take a look at this shot. We have a very high contrast shot of the sunrise, and the Mavic Air handles it very well. There's still a good amount of detail in the shadows and most of the highlights are still there. Overall, it produces a fantastic image. Alright, so as you can see, this drone produces a fantastic image once you get to know how to use it. And so far, all I've been doing is complimenting the Mavic Air. But let's take a look at some of the things that bother me about this drone. First up would be the noise. While it's not actually any louder in actual decibel level than most other drones, it certainly feels like it since it's so high-pitched. It's like there's a massive swarm of bees flying around. So in a way, I can see how it annoys people. In fact, while out on a hike with a group of friends, I had an older woman yell at me about how much of a disgrace I or the drone was. Anyway, something else I noticed is that while this drone is normally great at keeping your camera steady, it seems to be less steady overall compared to other bigger drones. And I haven't had it mess up any of my shots yet, but it does get this weird jitter that might mess up your shots in very high winds. But the gimbal seems to be doing a great job overall. DJI also included Smart Capture. Basically, this is this weird thing where you can control the Mavic Air with your hands. I found it fun, but relatively pointless. Since I use my drone primarily for professional video creating and filmmaking, this is a cool trick to show off for my friends, but not something I will really use. However, it does look very, very cool. Along with Smart Capture, DJI added 2 cool new intelligent flight modes, Boomerang and Asteroid. Boomerang has the drone fly an elliptical path around you and is really cool for revealing an epic backdrop. The other one is Asteroid. Asteroid is really cool and creates the small planet effect by stitching together photos into a panoramic and then matches that up with a short video clip on the end. But despite it looking so cool, I don't see myself using this one that much either. Battery life on the Mavic Air is decent, not the best, but better than some. Something else I really like that DJI added was internal storage. They added 8 GB of internal storage in case you forget your SD card. This has already saved me a few times. So is the DJI Mavic Air a perfect drone? No, but it is pretty close. It has great camera quality, a ton of intelligent features, and most importantly, it's ridiculously small and can fold up and be stored anywhere. But that's all I've got for you guys today. This has been Echo Productions. I'm Silas Willoughby, and I'll see you in the next one.